What is up, everybody? It's the Valero Texas Open, the final tune-up. Well, not tune-up, but the final event before the Masters. Final chance for these PGA golfers to get into Augusta for the Masters next week. We're going to talk all about it. We're going to recap last week's WGC. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the Masters. We'll see what else comes up in the conversation today. Everybody, fairway to heaven. It starts in 30 seconds. And a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fairway to Heaven right here on DSM Media. We're live, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. You know the drill. Like, share, retweet, follow on all social media platforms. Do me that favor. Head over to the DSM Media YouTube page. Hit the like and the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it as we try to continue to grow that brand there. I'm your host, Phil Stifel. You can follow me on Twitter at Beard and Knowledge. The Fairway to Heaven page is at Fairway, the number 2 Heaven _. Got lots of things happening here. So if you want to get interactive with the show, make sure you drop the comments on the YouTube or the Facebook page. It's Valero Texas Open. We wrap up this short little Texas swing this week. The final opportunity for golfers to qualify for the Masters. Obviously, the big name, Ricky Fowler. Everybody wants to see Ricky win this week, try to get himself into the Masters. We'll see what happens. Real quick, before we get started, I have opened up a shirt store and the logo Fairway to Heaven. I'm going to start rolling out some stuff. It's linked in the bio of the show on the Facebook and YouTube link of the show. Also, it's linked in my personal Twitter page in the website there. Right now, just the Fairway to Heaven logo is there for purchase on shirts and hats and stuff. But I'm going to roll out a bunch of different merchandise and stuff like that. So make sure you check that out and help support the show as best as you can. All right, so last week, Sam Burns wins the exciting, not exciting, not exciting final time of the World Golf Classic, the Dell Match Play. News broke this year is the last year of it, and man, they went out with a bang for the tournament as a whole. I mean, the event was exciting. Group play was exciting. The Sweet 16 was exciting. And then we go to the finals, and my guy, there's so many people coming back. Scheffler comes back. Rory comes back. Corey Connors comes back to get to the finals and the Final Four. And then the final championship round, Burns just completely smokes Cam Young, killing me because I had so many bets on Cam Young. Cam Young now his 6th time in a little over a year and a half. Finishing in 2nd place. I think I read 37 events, 6 runner-ups. That guy is going to win an event soon. Saw a lot of interesting comments throughout the event, whether people were excited or disappointed that the match play was ending. And the match play as a whole, I think, is a super entertaining event. Just the last year or two, the championship round has just kind of fallen a little flat. But it's a damn shame that they're getting rid of that event, and I think the golfers seem to like it a lot. It's a little break from their typical norm, and it's definitely a fun event for the fans. I was a little surprised that the crowds didn't seem too energized. It didn't seem like there was a lot of crowd there. I'm not sure what was up with that. Maybe it was just the way it appeared on TV, but for the most part, it's an event I'm going to miss watching. I hate it. We didn't do a show last week. I hate it for a DraftKings DFS purpose. I find it very hard to build lineups with it. I did a couple single entries, and that was it for it. I had more lineups in the Punta Cana Championship. Screw you, Thomas Dietrich, for ruining all my lineups and all my bets last week. We'll try again this week with you. But, yeah, I mean, it's not the best event for that, but it's a great event to bet. It's a great event to watch, and it's March Madness for golf, So it's a shame that it's going to go away after this year, but it is what it is. It's gone. That was the last one. I have a feeling at some point down the line, next couple of years, as these new schedules and as these new elevated events and no-cut events as these changes start to get instituted in the PGA Tour, I have a feeling that a match play event like this and like the Dell Technology match play will be back. Maybe it won't be at Austin Country Club. I think Austin Country Club is a great course, and it's going to be missed on the PGA. A lot of gimmicky holes, so to say, but it's a lot of fun. Maybe it wouldn't work for stroke play tournament, but for match play, it's great. So I'll miss the course. I'll miss 17. I'll miss that, that par 5 that people were driving. I think Rory had a drive on that one par 5 go over 400 yards. There's a lot of fun holes. Makes the viewing and the match play aspect of it really entertaining. But it is what it is. So we move this week to the Valero Texas Open. Like I said, it's the last spot. 89 spots have been, locked up for the Masters. The winner of this event will get a seat at the Masters. There is not a lot of top power. Most of the guys that are already qualified for the Masters have skipped this week. You're really, really going to want to pay attention Wednesday. See if anybody else withdraws from this event. Someone like Tyrell Hatton, who's going to be a super popular play this week. He's probably the best golfer in the field this year. He doesn't need to play in this event. I have a sneaky feeling he's a guy that I was doing some pre-builds before the show and earlier today, and I was putting him in a bunch of my lineups. And as the night's going on, I'm like, I might have to take him out. I have a feeling that he's going to be a withdrawal late, or maybe just be using it as a tune-up for next week. Which, we talk about people skipping it or just using this as a tune-up. Let's be honest. I mean, it's not necessarily the case. J.J. Spawn won it last year, but George Spieth won this event 2 years ago, and he plays in the Masters. He's a Masters champion. Who else has won? Corey Connors, who loves Augusta, plays here every year, and he won this event in 2019. Other guys, Adam Scott's won this event before. A lot of big-name guys have won this event. So maybe it's not as big of a deal playing here this week before the Masters as some of us make it out to be. It's a very generic course, TPC San Antonio. Nothing really. I mean, for the last month or so, we've had the Snake Pit. We've had this Island Green on 17. Every course we play, the gimmick holes on last week's course. There have been so many gimmicky things over the last couple of weeks, or things that distinguished a course. And this week we got nothing. We got a basic course. It's a 7,400, 7,450 yard par 72. The typical amount of par 3, 4, 5s. Nothing, stands out. The fairways are a little narrow, but the rough isn't that penal. So it's not like if you hit it into the rough that you're really going to be struggling. The greens they're not the fastest, they're not the easiest to hit. So around the green play comes into play a little bit, but basically it's basically the hottest golfers, the best golfers in the best form, ball striking, tee to green, off the tee. I played into a fact that a lot this week when we get into my model, the good drives gain, stat. And for those that don't know, good drive gains kind of it's the people that hit the fairway or the people that miss the fairway but still get it up towards the green on their second, that don't struggle out of the rough. It's a really important stat this week, I think. And I've weighed that heavier than I think I ever have. I went really simple with my model, just 6 basic stats. And because I'm just looking for the guys over the last 36 rounds that are hitting the ball the best. I could have probably eliminated tee to green and put ball striking in there. I didn't. I think this week, you got a lot of guys in the 8K range that are fantastic, and upper 7K that are fantastic. Guys playing really good golf that want to get into the Masters. So, that being said, let's start looking at it here. I'm going to bring it up here on the screen. As you guys can see, my model, I put 10% shots gained total, 25 on approach, 10 off the tee, 20 tee to green, 15 around the green, and 20 good drives gained. So literally, I literally went with 6 stats this week. Yeah, putting's off the side, but 0% weighted. It's just there. I think a average putter could do pretty well here. I thought about putting driving distance into this. Now, driving distance doesn't correlate as an important stat here this week, but of course it's 7,400 yards plus, and that fairways, missed you don't get penalized for missing the fairway in the rough too much. I originally, when I first was building the model, I had 10% good drives gained, and I think I had 15% on driving distance. And I probably had a little bit less somewhere else to make it work. And then I switched it to just heavy onto the good drives gained. It was funny. I listened to Rick Run Good today, and I love his content there. And he was like, he's got a stat on his site, which I should probably pay for because I love Fantasy National. They do some great stuff, but he's got some unique stats on his site that he has access to. And he does he had a stat on people that miss the fairway by X amount of yards versus X amount of yards. And so, you can find the guys that just missed the fairway by a few feet or a few yards and find those guys that, might correlate a little bit better there. But this is my model here from fantasynational.com. Check them out. We're going to sort it real quick. Aaron Rai finished number 1 in my model this week. Siwoo Kim. It breaks my heart that he's second in my model, but I'm going to play him this week because he's second in my model, and he lines up. He should play here really well. Hatton again. I don't know. Hatton's either going to be Jordan Spieth in 2021 and win this event. He's going to withdraw on Wednesday afternoon, or he's just going to be in that 50. Like his floor to ceiling range is so high right now. I'm just not sure what to do. We got Alex Smalley, Joseph Bramlett, Corey Connors, Chris Kirk, KOD, who got at it late. So I didn't even know he was in my top 10 of my model. He just was a late replacement for a withdrawal. I forget which withdrawal he was replacing. So I don't even know. We're going to have to deep dive in him. We're going to start him because we're only going to look at the guys I starred. Ben Martin and Ricky Fowler, number 10. Ricky Fowler, everybody's rooting for him to try to make the Masters. He's been so close. He's been getting there. Top 50, plus the legacy people, plus some amateurs, plus some guys that, have won events. That's how you get into the Masters. I think Ricky Fowler's 59, so I think he needs to win to get in. Look, the field's weak. It's not a strong top end of the field. You got some really good mid-level guys in this field, but the top end guys aren't there. So as always, they're sticker shock. So let's sort this out as I got it here by price. Let's go price, right down the list here. You got 4 great golfers in the 10K and above range. Tyrell Hatton, 10-9. Hideki Matsuyama, 10-5. Ricky Fowler, 10-2. And Corey Connors, 10-1. Now, we're gonna go backwards here. We're going to start with Corey Connors. Corey Connors is a complete fade for me this week. Because I always tell you guys that when you're looking at the sticker shock on these weaker events, you've got to accept the sticker shock. It's going to happen. People are going to be overpriced, from where you're not used to, them being. But you also got to think of their chance. Corey Connors won this event, right? I said that in 2019. So he's got the good course history. But that's the only win of his career. Like 10-1, Corey Connors could be one of the highest owned guys in the field. Can he win this event? Probably not. Corey Connors, I really wish it didn't switch me to another page. But it does. He missed the cut to players. That's the last time we've seen him. He's 21st, 61st, 50th, 12th, 18th, 23rd, 25th. Like, really? Corey Connors this week at 10-1, probably over 20% owned. What is he? He's going to finish between 15th and 25th place. Are you really paying 10-1 for Corey Connors to finish in 15th place and having him in 20% of lineups? No. So, Corey Connors is a strong fade, even though he models out well. He should be a good fit for this course. I'm just staying with. If he wins and it burns me, I'll accept that. But I think it's a complete fade. Hideki, too much going on with him right now, injury and with some withdrawals and some forfeits in the Delb match play. I'm a complete fade on Hideki. Hideki's another guy he'd come out and win when he's healthy and fully motivated. I just don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he withdrew. Again, I talked about Tyrell Hatton. I like him. I've got him in right now 7 of 21 lineups. I might have to switch that up. I might have to give myself more Ricky Fowler leverage and maybe some more down the board here. But Ricky Fowler is a play. It's a strong play this week. He is one of those guys that he's been coming on. He's been figuring it out. And this would be a fantastic week. Him to win this event, to get back into the Masters. I mean, he's a guy that loves the spotlight, and this is it. He played really well at the Players, 13th. He's had a couple top 15s this year. He's trending in the right direction. Let me see if what he's done here before. He missed a cut here in 2022, but his 2 previous years before that, 21 and 19, there was no 2020 Valero. He had 2 17th place finishes. So 2 out of the 3 years he's played here, he's done really damn well. So I think Ricky Fowler's a really strong play. But you can also make a case where you just completely fade this entire top 10K range. You really can make that case. Because in the 9 and 8K range, there's so many good players in this range. And you can build some really balanced lineups. Siwoo Kim, 9,700. That's a guy that we're all going to lose a lot of money on Siwoo, or we're all going to win a lot of money with Siwoo this week. He's played here really well. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, he's made the cut with 3 top 25s in that time frame. 4th in 2019, his best finish year. Haven't seen him since the Players, but he finished 27th. He won at the Sony Open earlier this year. Guy's playing really good golf. Siwoo Kim just seems to want. It just looks like it's a perfect fit for him, and he's even been golfing or putting better than normal for him. Chris Kirk won a few weeks ago. Great play this week, and Matt Kuchar. Matt Kuchar's another one. Has a great course history here. He's missed the cut a last few weeks out on tour. But, man, if anything is going to get him back on Valero, there we go, back into form, it's here. He's never missed the cut here. That's 3, 6, 10 times he's played here. He's only finished outside of the top 25 3 times. And he's, like I said, he made the cut every time. He's got a 2nd. He's got a 4th. He's got a 13th, a 12th. This guy loves the Valero. He's the kind of guy that should have no problems here. And even though he missed the cut the last 2 times, the last 2 events he's played in, he's done some things well. He gained strokes at the Players tee to green and on approach and around the green. It was his putting. He lost 3 strokes putting. And that's not like him. He's a positive putter. And his last 3 events, he's lost. Hell, he was 8th at the Genesis, and he lost 3 strokes putting. So if he can just get back to a baseline of even 0 putting, which he is, his last 5 events, he's been positive. His last 10, his last 20, he's always a positive putter. If he can get back to some form of putting, Matt Kuchar's a good play this week. So that's pretty much it. That's all I'm dealing with in the 9K. So the 8K, I've bet multiple of these guys to win it. 5 of these guys in this 8K are very heavily used for me this week. I've got out of 21 lineups, I got 17, 27, 37. I got 42 clicks in this 8K range. It starts with Ben Griffin. We've talked about him a lot on this show. This guy is destined to win an event this year. I've been waiting for it. I've been betting it. I bet it again this week. This guy's got to win an event. He's been so close so many times. He just comes close. Valspar, a couple weeks ago, 47th, 35th at the Players, 14th on Arnold Palmer, 21st at the Honda. 12th at the Sony Open. Guy's been doing really well. Great around the green, great tee to green, great putter. Is this the week for Ben Griffin? I don't know. We're going to find out. I'm going to give it a shot again, as I do every single time he's in the field. Matt Wallace won the Punta Cana last week. I think he's a great play. Let me check his Valero numbers here real quick. Not only is he a great play, but yeah, he finished 7th here. Or no, that was a Valspar. Sorry, he finished 7th at the Valspar earlier this year. So he's got a win in the 7th place. He's missed a couple cuts here, but he's also got a 3rd place finish here in 2021. So he does have some good. So he's got some great recent form, and he's got some history here. Matt Wallace is a really good play this week, I think. Thomas Dietrich, he's another one like Ben Griffin. Keep saying, this guy's going to win a golf tournament. Why isn't this guy winning a golf tournament? Come on, this guy, Thomas Dietrich, win a damn golf tournament. Finished 8th last week at Punta Cana, but he was in 2nd, 3rd place the entire week till the last round. He fell apart. Missed a cut the Players, but outside of the missed cut the Players, he hadn't missed a cut since September on the Corn Ferry Tour Championship. So he's got 1 missed cut, and it was at the Players. And this guy's got to be a play. We're gonna look at some top. I don't have any top 20s bet yet, but we're gonna look at his top 20 number because he's a top 20 machine. And in a weaker field like this, he should be another top 20 this week. Adam Schenk, he's a name I like a lot this week. I know he doesn't model out well. He's a really good putter, really good around the green. But he finished 2nd to Valspar. He's got only 1 miss. He's got 2 missed cuts this entire calendar year. The Amex back in January and the Players. But otherwise, he's got a lot of really good finishes. He's a great player. And obviously, at this event, I typed in the wrong letter there. He missed the cut twice here, but he has a 7th place finish here. I think Adam Schenk, he's a guy, it's a boomer bust play. But I think you can get a little bit of leverage. You can get a little leverage on the field by taking a chance on him, and I think it's a smart play. This guy at 8K here, Nikolai Højgaard. I don't know if I said that right. Højgaard. If you're looking just at his PGA Tour numbers, you're going to skip him. Last I looked, he was a sub 10%. I think that number keeps going up because people are realizing it. More of us talking heads are talking about him. He did finish 2nd at the Punta Cana. But if you're going just on his PGA Tour, the last time you saw him on PGA Tour was the Open Championship at St. Andrews. He made the cut there. So that's why I've got a second screen up here with other information, because Højgaard, where is he on this sheet here? If you look at other things, he plays a lot on the DP World Tour. So let's just do those numbers. So he's 2nd at the Punta Cana last week, 32nd at the Hero Indian Open, 5th at the Thailand Classic, 13th at the Ras Al Khaimah Championship. I don't know what that is. The Hero Dubai Classic, 38th. The Abu Dhabi Championship, 10th. The Handa Australian Open, 10th. This guy's been tearing up the European Tour, the World Tour. Højgaard is a fantastic play this week. I would expect, even though he was at 5 or 6% when I was building my pool, then he went up to like 7%. Let me see what that's tournament history. Let's see ownership projections and how they've changed in the last 6 or 7 hours here. You guys know I don't track ownership percentage. I don't worry about it like others do. All right, he's up to 8.5%. So every few hours he's gaining another percent or two. I bet you he's somewhere in that 5 to 10% range or 15% range when it's all said and done. But dude, it's so worth it. I'm hoping people realize that he models out poorly, that they see that he doesn't play on the PGA Tour, and they skip over him. Nikolai Højgaard, I bet him. DraftKings was offering a plus 250 boost. I threw it on him. 52.5 to 1 I end up with on him. Love it. Number one guy in my model, I absolutely love too. Aaron Rai is a guy that's going to win. I bet him. I think he might have been my first click to win this event, because this guy's a guy that's going to win on tour here really soon. Really, really soon. 19th of the Players, 53rd at Arnold Palmer. Missed the cut, but he's got 29, 42nd, 52, 61. This guy's great off the tee. Great tee to green. Great around the green. Only thing he does poorly is putt. And he putted to a positive at the Players. So if this guy even putts half decently this week, Aaron Rai can win this event. So love Aaron Rai this week. Sam Ryder's another one. This guy's been come back, out of nowhere this year. 19th at Valspar, 44th. He had that stretch there in February, January, 4th, 20th. Guy's putting great. He leaves a little bit to be desired with his approach and tee to green game. But in this field, Sam Ryder, I think, is a really strong play. So you could go 7,800 Ryder, 79 Rai, 8K Højgaard, 84 Dietrich, 85 Matt Wallace. You could build. I built a line. I built multiple lineups just with those 6 names. Multiple lineups, those 8 names. Multiple lineups just from that group there. So that's really there. Bo Hostler, I mean, I was thinking about him. I did not use him yet. Maybe I mix him in. He's missed a whole bunch of cuts. But earlier this year, 2 strong fields, Pebble Beach and Phoenix Open, he had really good finishes. Plus, he was 4th here last year. He's played here 5 times, made the cut 4 times, including a 4th place finish. So is Bo Hostler a name that, maybe you catch? He missed a cut at the Valspar, but he gained off the tee. He gained tee to green. He gained around the green. It was the fact that he lost 2.1 strokes putting. You take that away, he was even across the field. He probably makes the cut if he doesn't lose those strokes putting. Bo Hostler's a guy. You can get him. He probably has 2-3% ownership. I'm not going to use him probably. You can take a chance there. Alex Smalley, 4th in my model. Great tee to green player. Great driver of the golf ball. Great approach player. Love Alex Smalley this week. He is on my card as a bet. He was my biggest long shot at 110 to 1. He's in a bunch of lineups for me. Nick Taylor, another name. Love Nick Taylor this week. Let me look at Nick Taylor real quick here. 10th at the Valspar, had a couple missed cuts, but second at Phoenix, 20th. This guy's missed cut or top 20, top 10 every single week. If he gets his off the tee and approach game working, he has a great finish. If they fall apart, it is what it is. But Nick Taylor's a really nice name this week that you can look at. Robbie Shelton's a guy. I've been hot and cold with him this year. Benny On. We're going to skip over Benny On there. We're going to go down to this lower section here. Some names here that I like. Eric Cole. Doesn't model out well, but he's a great shots gained total. So it means overall he's playing really well lately. Let me look at it. It's mostly putting, I think. Yeah. Missed the cut at the Valspar, but 27th of the Players, second at the Honda, 15th at AT&T Pebble Beach. Great approach player. And I think that's going to help him this week. Eric Cole's a good, cheap, heavily discounted guy. Eric Van Rooyen, love him. This week, Punta Cana, he made the cut, but he fell apart on the weekend. Top 10 at Valspar, 32nd. Kind of feel like a year or two ago, he was like on the cusp. And then he kind of fell off last year. And then this year, American Express 6th, 10th at Valspar. This guy's missed a couple cuts, but he's one of those guys in a weaker field like this. He's got some win potential, or top 5 potential there. I really think he could do well this week at this event. Joseph Bramlett, Nate Lashley, Ben Martin, all names I like this week. I want to throw some other interesting names here. Charlie Hoffman's won this event before. Good old Paddy. Padraig Harrington, the Irishman. Is he Irish? I don't even know what he is. What is he? Irish? I think he's Irish. English, Irish, British. It's all the same, right? Let me look at him real quick. Because Padraig Harrington's another guy that I think if you just go off his PGA Tour, you might miss him. He's made the last 2 cuts on the PGA Tour. He's made. But that's why you got to look beyond the PGA Tour stats. He's got the last two events on the Champions Tour, 5th and 7th. Then he had 2 PGA Tour events. He made the cut. Then the PGA or Champions Tour, 2nd place. World Tour for 3 events, 4th missed cut, top 25. So he's played on 3 different tours, 2 pros and 1 senior. Only missed 1 cut. Paddy Harrington is a sneaky play. And let me check his. I want to say he's played well here at the Valero. I don't know for sure. Yeah, he's played here 4 times. He's made the cut. Played here 5 times. Made the cut 4 of those 5 times. Knows his way around the course. He just made the cut 2 years ago here when he played here last. Padraig Harrington, sneaky little play for a few lineups. You don't want to go crazy. You don't want to go put him in 10 lineups or anything like that. But it's a really good sneaky play. And then you've got, obviously, where is he on here? You got Akshay Bahisha. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right or not. He was a hot up-and-comer, man. Everybody's loving him. 2nd at Puerto Rico, 24th at Punta Cana. He's not playing a whole hell of a lot on the PGA Tour, but he's got the partial exemption or whatever it may be. He's playing really well. He's one of those guys. I got a bet on him 100-1. This guy could win his first PGA Tour event this week, or he can miss the cut. I put him in a few more lineups than I'd probably rather like to be in, but it's a guy that you really should consider. There's a few more names I want to go over here. Kazuki Higa. Where is he on here? Right here. Another guy. You're going to pass over him because he's only got 16 PGA Tour events, right? But when you look deeper, he's playing on the World Tour, the European Tour. 4th at the Hero Indian Open, 11th at the Thailand Classic, 36, 72nd on his last PGA Tour event, and 36. So his last 5 PGA or European Tour events, he's made the cut in all 5 of them. But you might miss him because his last PGA Tour event, he finished in 72nd place. So I don't even know if I'm saying it. Kazuki Higa. You got to look beyond the PGA numbers sometimes. Doug Gim is another guy here. He's not modeling out great, but he's a guy that he missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7 cuts with a 62nd. But then all of a sudden, 27th and a 16th in his last 2 PGA Tour events. And this is a guy a while ago. He was on fire. He was an up-and-comer. He lots of top 20s on. He kind of just fell off a little bit. Is he right now? Doug Gim is a guy. Hold on. Let me see here. Valero. Has he played here before? He missed the cut last year, but he had a 44th year before. So he's 1 for 2 here. Doug Gim's a guy I kind of sneaky like to kind of go heavy with some of the higher owned guys like Matt Wallace and Thomas Dietrich and Højgaard and Kirk and Kim. Then throw a Higa or a Doug Gim. Ryan Gerard, there's another name. I was high on him last week. He missed the cut. Was it last week he missed the cut or 2 weeks ago? Missed the cut at the last week at Punta Cana. But this guy had been on fire for a while. A 4th, an 11th, and a 71st is 3 previous events. You know, I think his ownership is going to dip massively because of his missed cut last week. But I think he could do well here. Brent Grant, there's another name down there. I don't know anything about Brent Grant. That was something that I got off another show I was watching. I finished 8th last week at the Punta Cana. He's made 4 of his last 5 cuts, 3 of them in the top 25 on the PGA Tour. So Brent Grant is a name to look for. I actually put him in 2 lineups. I don't normally go that low for that many clicks. It's normally 1 click, but you know, the guy's playing decent on the PGA Tour. So Brent Grant's another name that you could take a little swing at. All right, so that's I said I was going to look at KOD because you know he modeled out great, but he wasn't. He was a late addition. He missed the cut to Honda. That's the last time we've seen him on tour. 29th, 53rd, 16th, 36th missed cut. So he's 4 of his last 6 events he's made cuts. Let's see what he's done on the Valero here. Missed cut in 2021. That's it. That's the only time he's played here. Yeah, KOD's modeling out great, but we're going to pass on KOD. All right, let me switch to my DraftKings sports book here. I wanted to look at a couple of these top 20 odds here. Let's pull that off the screen here. Stop that shared screen there. Let's see if I can share my sports book screen here with you. Share screen. Sports bet. All right, let's get my Valero up here. I'm not logged in, so that's okay. Let's take a look at some of these here. I really wanted to take a look at the top 20s here because I think there's some value. Plus 140 for Matt Kuchar. I think I'd get behind that. So far my outrights are Ben Griffin 40-1, Aaron Rai 55, Højgaard 52.5, Sam Ryder 65-1, Bahidi 100-1, and Alex Smalley 110-1. They're my 6 outrights. But I kind of feel like some of these, outside of Tyrell Hatton, everybody's plus money in the top 20. Right there, I was telling you, fade Hideki right there. You know, the fact that he's the 2nd most expensive guy on DraftKings, but he's got the 5th worst odds to finish in the top 20. That tells you something right there. So that's why he's a fade there. Kuchar 140-1. I think that's a really valid play there. I really wish he was closer, like 170, 200-1. Let's see. Thomas Dietrich 220-1, top 20. I think I will be adding that in as soon as the show's over. Aaron Rai 230-1. I think I'm going to add that as well. And Højgaard 240-1. I think all those are excellent plays. Let me continue down the card. Let me see if any of these other guys are worthy of a top 20 bet here. Not really at all. I think some of these this right here, the Rai, the Højgaard, 220 or 230, 240, they're great plays. Dietrich 220. Yeah, that's where my top 20 bets are going to go. Let's go up to the top of the board here. Hatton is still the favorite, 12-1. Fowler's 18-1. Kim 22-1. Hideki's fallen to 4th in odds at 20 or 3rd, 22-1. Yeah, I mean, there's no more odds that really jump out at me. But I think that's where we're at there. I do want to swing over here because I think it's fun to take a look. I did throw a Masters bet on Cam Young 45-1. I mean, he was just playing so well, so much lately. After last week's 2nd place finish, he's dropped to 28. I'm glad I got that 45-1 on him. I knew that was going to happen. Let's take an early look at some of these Masters odds. Scotty Scheffler 7-1 to repeat. Rory to finish the Grand Slam career at 7-1. Rahm is 7-1. Honestly, all 3 of them could be in the top 10. Rahm's kind of struggled lately, but you know, you got to think he's going to be in the top 10 at the Masters. Cam Smith's the first live golfer on the board at 20-1. He was my guy last year. I was all in on Cam Young to win the Masters last year. He came so close, finished second in that tough final round against Scotty Scheffler. He ended up winning the Open Championship, another one of my bets. But that brings up an interesting point on what's going to go on with these live golfers. Dustin Johnson's the next live guy at 22-1, former champion. Let's see, where's the rest of these guys on live tour? Joakim Neiman, 50-1. Tiger Woods, 55-1. You're not betting that. Bryson, 55-1. Brooks Koepka, 55-1. Anyway, we're going to close that out right there. It just brings up an interesting question. What's going to happen with the live golfers next week for DraftKings and betting and just the winning in general? Got to think that the PGA Tour does not want one of these live guys winning the Masters. They don't want Scotty Scheffler, one of their crown jewels, slipping that green jacket on a live golfer next week. I mean, I don't think it would really help the live tour, but I don't think it would be a good image. A lot of it's funny, like the live tour has made a lot of changes to the PGA Tour from what they've done. And these golfers, have left to go to live. It hasn't made live better. It's made the PGA Tour better. And everything that happens, it doesn't really help the live. But everything that the PGA Tour is doing to answer live keeps giving them these bad images for some reason. I don't know. It's hard to explain. So I don't think a live golfer winning would help live become a better tour. It would help whoever's running their social media account have more bold, hot take posts and things that make zero sense. But that's it. I don't know. Can a live golfer win? I don't know. But what I will say, you got to remember, we'll get into this deeper next week. There's 90 golfers in the PGA Tour, or that play the Masters. 7, 8 of them, they're old senior guys, like legacy guys, like the Gary Players of the world. The guys have zero chance of winning. Mike Weir, former champions that are so far gone, they have no chance. You got 7 or 8 amateurs every year. Maybe one makes the cut. Most of the time, none of them make the cut. That's going to eliminate 15 golfers. So now you're down to 75 guys. Normally it's like normally about 55, 60 guys make the cut. So 55, 60 guys make the cut at the Masters. I think it's top 50 in ties. So you have 55 to 60 guys. Only 75 of them really have a chance to make the cut, which means live golfers only have to dodge 20 guys to make the weekend. And then once you make the weekend, anything can happen. There's going to be 2, 3, 4 of these live golfers that are in the top 20 come Saturday, Sunday. And those live social media account holders are going to be pumping out the posts all about it. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out next week. Can a live golfer win the Masters? I don't know. These guys haven't played 72 holes in a long time. Will they be tired? I mean, I don't know. Tiger Woods has played more 72-hole rounds than any live golfer. Will I bet any of the live golfers? I'll have to check the odds. I'm going to actually do some research and see how they're playing on live. Cam Smith is still a Augusta. He just fits the course so much. And I loved Cam Smith last year. He was my golfer. I hit him multiple times last year. But I just don't know. I don't know how he's playing on live because I've just not watched live. So we'll see. I think you're going to be able to get a lot of really discounted ownership in DraftKings with these live golfers because a lot of guys aren't going to know how they're playing. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see. But I think we're going to wrap up Fairway to Heaven for the most part right there. 2 more housekeeping notes. Again, yes, in the bio of this show on Facebook and YouTube and on my Twitter page pinned at the top in my profile, there's a link to a t-shirt site that I've created. Right now it's just got a few logos in it and one Eagles design, but it's a great way to support the brand. Great way to support podcasts is to buy the merchandise. Check it out if you want to get a Fairway to Heaven t-shirt, hat, mug, whatever. Greatly appreciate that. And I can't give out too many of the details. I'm saving it for the morning show. But this will be the last episode of Fairway to Heaven on the DSM Media Network. So make sure you're following me on Twitter, Beard of Knowledge or Fairway to Heaven. Next week, we're going to be on a new network. I move into a bigger, better, different channel. I'll get into more of those details on the morning show, Trend the AM, and release those details there. But yes, this is the last Fairway to Heaven on DSM Media. Make sure you subscribe and like to their channel because it's still a great channel. Some great guys doing some great work here at DSM Media. So for that, this is it on Fairway to Heaven on DSM. Stay tuned next week. Bigger, better things. It's Masters. Look, I got my Masters coat. It's prepped. It's pressed. It's ready to go. Well, it's not pressed. It's got to get dusted off a little bit. It's been sitting there on that hanger since last year's Masters show. Can't wait to put it on for next week's episode. We'll be back next week. Fairway to Heaven. Everybody have a great week. And, let's go all in on Aaron Rai. That's right. It's Aaron Rai week this week on the PGA